Good morning, everyone. What a morning. Just a morning where it's our last week here. And we're thinking, all right, this will be a casual 2 last episodes to wrap up the season. We'll go on off-season, enjoy our time. And then an absolute bomb gets dropped on us. John Longmire quits on Sydney. Just like that. Just I'm out of here, I'm done. What is going on?
Has it made you rethink whether or not maybe we should just keep going? Because we needed the break because, clutching at straws a little bit content-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all this is happening.
They got content galore. Bad Sydney fans going through it. Grand final loss, and now the horse is like, I'm out. Let's unpack it.
Let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Dan Does Footy podcast. You can find more of Dan Does Footy on the website, Spotify, YouTube, and social media. Lids off. See ya.
There was heaps of sick kids, and I was like, where are they? Kick him harder. Kick him all harder. Punch him in the face. That was bloody horizontally challenged, if you get what I mean. Boner. Tough crowd today. Should we say this is the line? If you don't hear the next bit, it's over the line? Okay, so if you don't hear the next bit, I've got a line. Who's just walked past Punt Road? It dips him. Man, what is going on in Sydney? So this is all we know. It's just broken. We've come in. You were off getting a coffee.
Yep.
I was late as usual.
Yep.
And you've sent me the article.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Longmire is out. Reporters going crazy, running around saying what's happening, where's he going, why is he going? And all we know right now is that he has been told, or he's told the club, I'm done. I've had enough.
Bizarre timing, like really weird. So we've had one day back essentially.
He's had one day at preseason and thought, you know what?
Not for mine.
I don't think this is for me this year again. Just like, again, we don't know the details, so there might be a reason for it. Might be a family reason. Maybe, something's happened, and if so, we hope things are right. But you've just come off the back of a grand final. You're a good coach. You're a very good coach. You have a record of 194, 3 draws and 108 losses. That's a winning clip of 64%. That's very good. So you're a good coach. Mm-hmm. The club's in a good place, and you think, you know what? I just don't think this is me. I've got a theory.
Hit me.
I think he's been tapped on the shoulder by a big Cox. Just a little...
So you reckon a Cox has
full
tapped?
flop Cox.
You reckon a Cox has tapped him?
I think a big Cox has got him somewhere.
So you don't think someone higher up the chain has gone, we prefer Cox here?
Well,
you reckon the Cox is tapped?
I think a Cox has tapped him. So this is what we know. Wow. Mitch Cleary just said, confirmed Dean Cox is the new coach of Sydney. Comes 3 months after he declined the chance to become West Coast coach. I smell a Cox.
Yeah.
So I would think that's what's happened. Maybe someone high up there at Sydney said, you know what, we think a secret board meeting might have taken place. We think that maybe the best direction for the group going forward would be Dean after the back of grand final loss, after, so being so close, yet, getting the ultimate prize on the last 3 grand finals they've been to, maybe. 1 premiership from the last 4. That's one conclusion you could draw.
Yeah.
But why? What else would he be out?
It's bizarre. I think for mine, so am I right in saying that John had 1 year left on his current deal?
Yep.
So the timeline actually made sense in my head for Cox being like, okay, I'm going to say no to the West Coast job, but in 1 year's time, this is my thing.
And that's what we all thought.
And I think that was perfect. Mm-hmm. So 1 day after preseason.
It must have been a bad day of preseason.
Has Fluffy come back just
unfit?
Yeah.
In contract stringer form. Just not caring about, doing the off-season program. What else has happened? Has Grundy, is his ruck work not good day one?
Yeah. Has he been reading too many
skin fold testing?
Yeah.
Like what was it that's happened in day 1 of preseason for him to be like, I'll wake up day 2, not going to work.
And you would imagine if it was someone higher up tapping him on the shoulder, if that played out, you'd be tapping him before preseason for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Of course.
That's we'll get it out of the way.
Okay, so then that goes back to the first two that we had, that maybe it wasn't a planned thing from the board and a new direction just all of a sudden. So let's look at other things. A family reason, personal reason. And if it is, we hope that everything's great and, good if he can, take prolonged time or forever off footy to go and deal with whatever that is. Or, as we'll all speculate now until we get more information, drama?
Yeah.
Is there some kind of has he done something?
Yeah.
Is he close to a situation that he's part of? Is there going to be a bigger, a route to this thing that we're going to find eventually? Like, why would he just, on day 2 of preseason be like, I quit?
Yeah. I like to imagine there's a bit of a sort of almost like a boy band turmoil, like inevitably when those sort of things clash.
Yeah.
And Coxie's, put him up against a wall.
Yeah.
And gone,
Because what happened with Clarko and Sam Mitchell? Because the same thing. Sam Mitchell was supposed to be under Clarko's wing for another year.
Yeah.
And Clarko was like, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable. I'm out. But as you said, day 2 of preseason, that would have been done. And off the back of a grand final, a board would have said, you know what? We've lost the grand final.
Yeah.
We did say to Dean, a year's time, then it's your time. But that would have been done 2 weeks after the grand final.
And I'm right in saying a coach would still also have an exit interview, right?
Yep.
As well as the players. So they've had that chat.
He's gone away on his holiday.
Yeah.
He's looked at the off-season programs for the boys. He's put together a pre-season training program for the boys. And now to come in and say, I quit effective immediately. Hasn't done his presser yet. It's early this morning. This will come out today, this ep, yeah?
Yeah.
So we'll keep, if stuff keeps coming to our phones, we'll keep, updating you as the episode goes on. But all we know right now is Sydney have huge cocks.
Yeah.
He's in. He's in the driver's seat.
Really in. Made me laugh when I think it was Tom Morris's report of it. So I saw Mitch Cleary's first.
Yeah.
But then Tom Morris said, this is it. It's happening. The players are finding out in the next few hours. And I went, yeah, or now, because you've just said it.
Yeah, okay. So that's another one. Like, why? And someone commented this tonight. We just put it on socials. Someone said players probably should have been the first told.
Yeah, you would have thought so.
Which is fair enough.
Could you imagine at time of recording, they were probably on their way to training?
Well, they wouldn't be training today.
No?
Nah, it'd be a culture day today, I'd say.
No, but originally?
Would have been.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
Surely they would have been on their way in and then
They'd all be almost at the club. I'm speculating, but I feel like something's happened.
Culture day.
It's a real, let's go to the movies, boys, day.
Let's go to the movies.
The movies fixes everything. Have you told the story about the Suns? Every time we'd have a bad loss, it'd be the movie?
No.
Yeah. At the Suns, every time we'd have a bad loss or something would happen or there'd be like some kind of, I don't know, the boys get a little bit drunk and, a DUI or whatever like that. We go to the movies the next day.
Jesus, you guys could have turned into David and Margaret with the amount of films you must have seen then. Jesus.
A movie would
There
always
wasn't one you
fix
missed.
something. It was a culture day. So I dare say today for Sydney, big culture day.
Yep.
Big culture day
We're going to
coming
get, players, 1 to 5, fifth year, you're going to Gladiator.
Yeah.
Players above that, you're going to Wicked.
Yeah.
And then we'll convene at the end.
So again, I assume he's going to do a presser and we'll find out more then.
Yep.
If he doesn't do a presser, that leaves more questions. If it's not a personal, again, which I can't stress enough because I know people are going to be like, you should be so sensitive. Listen, we are saying it could be personal. That's very well. We don't know anything right now. But I'm saying if he doesn't do a presser, you could only keep growing a seed that
Something's...
horse might have maybe. What's he done? Yeah. Is that like someone rooting someone?
No.
Or no?
No, that's just like
horse out here fucking?
heads butting.
Okay, great.
Like,
Okay.
or
You're
there
making
was
that
tension being created.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Great. Hey, also, before we wrap this up and give updates as we find out more, have a career. Have a career, Horsey. Have a great career. What a man. Came in and just took over from Paul Roos.
Yes.
And everyone's like, whoa, big boots to fill.
Yeah.
Filled him.
Oh,
And got bigger boots.
yeah.
So now Cox, big jocks to fill.
Massive.
Huge jocks to fill. But welcome, everyone. That was the big bomb that's been dropped on us. It's kind of thrown us out of all sorts now. We're just trying to gather our thoughts and get back on track as we do enter our last week of the potty for the season. And what a season it's been. We deserve a bit of an off season.
We do.
We've been going for...
Self-diagnosed, but we do deserve it.
We've been going, and you guys, we appreciate you hanging around for 40 plus weeks. But we're pretty keen for just a break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back though, Feb.
Yeah.
We're back on, same time as this year we're back mid-Feb.
Yeah.
Season starts March. We'll be back around the
mate.
same time frame.
And I'm so keen because this time round, I'm going to have an even shorter Christmas break.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting
You get
straight
focused.
to the drawing board.
You need to
Yeah.
go to Tassie and connect back with that.
Well, I need
island,
to
the
go
island.
back to the roots. But then after that,
be on
I'm all
board.
in because,
Yeah.
this kind of, this dynamic was very much a shock for mine.
Yeah.
Like I was sort of maybe aware and then it happened and it was quick and then we were straight into it. Didn't get a chance to plan much.
Yeah.
So now
You're all over it.
I'm going to have a 2-week break and then I'm going to be
Yeah.
laser focused.
Right. Well, you weren't even supposed to have a microphone this season.
No.
Or ever. And we just gave you one.
Yeah.
And thank God I was me here talking by myself, just to everyone. Wouldn't make any sense.
I don't think you could do it.
Oh, no. God, no. God, no.
Not for an hour.
No, no. Thanks to the doggies as well.
How good is
Seeing
that?
the retro jersey. If you're not watching YouTube, you can't see this, but this is the white clash.
Yes.
With the dog on the front. My arm's in that. It's kind of
Yeah.
an awkward angle.
Oh.
The dog on the front
With the 100 years.
with 100 years and a lot of talk about people not liking the clash. I like the clash.
It's nice.
I also, again, I've said that I like that, the crest.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Big on that. So thank you to the doggies for sending that out. We'll wear that doggies game, even though I do have a thing about wearing Guernseys in public.
But that's okay. If
That's
it's
okay.
for work.
True, true. And a little note here
Yes.
from number 3, Cody Waitman.
Yeah.
Put this dog on you to give company the dog in you.
That's very good.
I mean, it's very good, Cody. Thank you, mate. Thanks, Cody. So we'll get that. We'll get number 19 pressed on that as well for sure.
Yeah.
For this season coming up or next season coming up. But Ollie, big weekend for you since it's been
Huge.
a while since we've been in everyone's
Huge.
years. We had Dill Alexander do the mock draft.
Yep.
I think you nailed all of them. We haven't really done a check on that, but it's fast and loose, whatever. But a big week since we've been in everyone's ears. Let's start with the unveiling.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
haven't
God.
spoken to you
Yeah,
since
there's
then.
a lot.
It's been a week, my friend.
This has been huge.
You've been big.
So thanks for coming. You were obviously there, weren't you?
Just missed that one.
You
yeah,
just missed that
Yeah,
one.
just that. But you, yeah.
Well, you need to be aware that I got on stage and I had a bunch of gags lined up, and they went down pretty well, except for I was co-hosting with Spider Everett. And I said, it feels really weird for me to be up here with you, Spider. I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable, actually, because my regular co-host is in the crowd watching, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. And there was a bit of a, and I went, where is he actually?
Oh, no.
And everyone was turning around, and it was exactly the scene out of Austin Powers where he said, "Stand up, Dad, and take a bow." And then no one was there, and everyone started laughing. So look, that was fine.
Yeah.
The other gags went down
Great.
really well.
Okay.
Some good Eric Banner gear.
Great.
Like,
Yeah,
simple
nice.
stuff
I can
like
imagine.
that.
Yeah, chopsticks.
It was chopsticks. It was a bloody good night.
Yeah.
It was really well done. Ross Lyon was the highlight. His speech was so funny.
What did Ross give us?
I'm not going to give too much away because it was very much a phones off type job.
Ross has had some beers, had he?
He got someone's name wrong,
Great.
high up,
Yep.
at the club. So that was pretty funny.
happens.
And then he slipped in, and I had behind me Callum Wilkie and Jack Steele with like the, ambassadors kind of thing from the club.
Or captains.
Well, but like there weren't many players.
They were the
there.
marquee players.
Yeah. So anyway, they were standing behind me, and they started pissing themselves during Ross's speech because Ross just started talking about Geelong and Cotton On.
Oh, I just came out of it, didn't it?
And it was so funny. It was so Ross Lyon, but it was just like, no. Like,
What was his angle?
well, just, we have spoken about, we've called a particular
Geelong had cheated the
company.
scale. Yeah, they're moving the salary
Yeah.
cap by giving people fake jobs.
And so he just sort of alluded to that. And it was and then I said, are we going to see Jack Steele being the head of, a department at Red Rooster or something?
Great joke.
Yeah, just a great joke.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Night itself was brilliant. I had a ball.
Great.
Yeah.
And what was the vibe coming out of the week? I think you've won the rebrand war out of the other two clubs that did theirs.
You know what? It's so funny you should say that. I do believe so. But I don't know if you've noticed, there's been a real 360 on the Crows logo. I think, and I'm one of them. It looks shitloads better than I first thought. I think,
Yep.
honestly, there's been a bit of a, okay, just let's
dust
just,
has settled on it.
sit on it. Then I think even at the draft, seeing the guys walk in with it.
The Crowbots?
The Crowbots. I wouldn't be surprised if they possibly won the rebrand war. However, I think St Kilda's, I knew going in that it might not be your favourite, but you couldn't dislike it.
Okay.
Which I thought was really smart by St
Yes.
Kilda. Like, no one could sit there and be like, that's
Play it
terrible.
safe.
Like, this is exactly what they needed. It's
Yep.
nice, crisp, clean, modern, all the rest of
Yeah.
it.
So you got rid of the St KFC.
Yeah.
Red Rooster be stoked.
Oh, they're pumped.
Yeah, that'd be really big about that.
They're pumped.
Yeah. So that was free advertising for KFC too.
Yeah.
So that'd be good. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't need to do too much to it.
No.
You just clean up a bit, made it modern.
Yeah.
Brought it into, this modern world.
Yep.
And it was great. So you've done well. The one thing I do want to say about it is the black box.
On the Guernsey.
On the Guernsey, so for those who
Sure.
don't know, you've got the red, the white in the middle, then the black on the other side, and then they all run vertically down, all very smooth and
Yeah.
clean lines. And then where the St Kilda logo is on the black, it actually protrudes outside the black lining, making like a black rigid
Yeah.
square that goes into the white, which caught my eye.
Yeah. Well, I think if I think back to the old Crest ill,
Yep.
yuck, for
Yuck.
starters. If you remember, it had the ribbon separate down the bottom, and the ribbon would be red on the left, white in the middle, and then black on the right. So the black got lost in the black, which made sense. But now we don't have the ribbon, so I would argue that we probably don't need it at all.
Okay.
But yeah, look, I get you. I
Okay,
do.
Fair enough. Are we fixing that up? Are we going to move it over, or is it going to have a black box there?
But weirdly, I don't have that sort of power.
Oh, we were in the video. You're in everything that Security are pumping
That's
out at
true.
the moment.
That is true.
Okay, so that was big for you. And then you had also a big week for, the body got moving on the weekend. We all saw that.
Mate.
What's
so
going on
much.
there? The first thing that caught my mind was the knee brace. So for those who don't know, Ollie put up a story, which we shared it to everyone, and you were dancing theatrical in a football play that was, what's it, one day in September?
One day in September.
And
so
then-
I went down, mate.
Yeah.
I said that they heard it on the show that I wanted to go back to my roots. Like, it was on.
Did you take your feet off and see where the roots went?
Oh, yeah, right.
Your feet off,
straight
shoes
into the floorboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have my feet off.
Shoes off.
Firstly, thank you for having me. They were really impressive, and it's amazing when, like, I don't know if you've had this recently, but say if you think about the time you've had off playing at the highest level, if you then went and had a training session, let's just say you went back to the Blues for, you know,
I'd dominate, mate.
well, but you,
No,
you'd-
I'd dominate. I set a
Okay.
standard.
Well, let's say hypothetically you didn't dominate, and you
I can't. I can't think
and
like
you'd
that.
notice the drop off.
Yeah.
I noticed that. You know, I got in there, like, so they went, so you're like theatrically trained. I went, oh yeah, like, you know, very much so. Traditionally, you know, of ballet, contemporary, tap, jazz, all the rest of it. Talked it up a bit, and then I forgot that I haven't done it for like 10 years.
You're saying the body didn't move like it used to?
No, God no.
Wow. Because I get that. I get that a lot.
Yeah,
You're not spring
exactly.
chicken anymore, you know?
No. But it was amazing. So it's going to be a phenomenal production starting from Thursday through Saturday. I think tickets are selling out quickly, but we do have a little package of the day. And I think
Can you put this on YouTube in the middle of the episode?
yeah, well, this is exactly what I'm doing.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, you've sort of
So people are watching YouTube
ruined
again.
sort of
Sorry,
peeking behind
yeah,
the curtains.
cut the bit out.
But this is how it played out. I've just sent it to you now.
Oh, yeah, you can't iMessage me it. So, yep, this will just go.
This will be in.
He's just put it on a
Dropbox.
Dropbox. So, bear with us for 45 minutes. Okay. Okay, the first thing I want to see, Ollie does theatre. Great. Okay. Why are you in the middle? Why are you the main guy?
Well, if you're going to do it.
Knee brace. Oh my God, you're just gun barrel down the camera. A lot of football movement in it.
Well, it's a footy show, man.
Okay. Oh wow, Ollie. You're the Saints top on too. And now you're on the bench. Okay. So they're in the theatre, they're taking speakers of each other.
Yeah. And then sort of how do you end the session? Is there like a theme?
Okay, you want to end the session now. You're wrapping it up. They have a team song. I got a feeling that's just in the song. Are you making this up? Wow, man. Wow.
Back
You
to my
found your
roots.
niche. Well done, mate. Well done. We'll put it up on our stories
Yeah.
and we'll put it in the YouTube episode now for those watching, getting an absolute, you would have seen just a treat then. So,
Yeah.
wow.
It was so good. And they are amazing because from what I could gather, they're not footy players at all. But
I
they're
could've gathered
doing
that, yeah. I could've told you that, I
You'd be
reckon.
surprised. They're doing live skills in the production. So the risk versus reward is huge.
Like a real game of footy.
Well, I reckon that's what maybe footy players need to start doing.
Dancing.
Well, like, you know, get a bit of stage pressure.
Did they ask about me if I want to get involved?
Yeah, they said, where is he? And I said, he's playing golf.
You know, he doesn't go to anything. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
I said, boys, I can sing and I can dance.
Which reminds me, I've got two things before we move on.
Okay.
I'm just taking over.
Okay.
That does remind me of in year 12, I was
Here we go, better get weird.
grade 10 to 12
You have to turn into Weirdville.
captain of dance at school.
Doesn't surprise me.
And I was getting a little bit of shit from the boys.
No.
Yeah. At an all boys school.
What? That's
What?
weird. Yeah, what?
So the footy guys were really getting in my ear, which is really strange.
Yeah, you're the losers, actually.
And I had been watching an episode of Glee in which it very much mirrored what was happening in my world. And what they did was
Window into your life.
yeah, they got the music theatre kids, they got the football, like the American football team, jocks, to practice dance to prove that it's hard. So I went to the principal and said, I've had enough. We're doing this.
Yeah.
So on a Tuesday night, I ran over to the pavilion at the footy oval in my little elaster booties.
Oh my God.
And I went, "G'day, how are you guys?" And I had a kick with a couple of my mates that did play. And then they went, "No bother lacing up, boys. You're going to the lodge." And then off we went to the lodge and we did a 2-hour dance class. Hamstrings were torn.
Oh, wow.
Like they struggled.
So you caused the whole team to go down with injuries. Just
Yeah,
to prove the
literally,
point.
yeah.
Great.
And I feel good about that.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, good on you, mate, for getting out there and trying new
Yeah.
things.
Well, not new things, old things.
Well,
But-
old things. We're getting back out there. How's the body today? What
Yeah, sore. Yeah, sore.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just wanted to say I've got 2 massive texter updates for you.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, the draft would happen. So if you're listening the first time, Ollie is a serial texter to literally people of like note, we'd say, or anyone that you're in the mood to text that's,
Yeah.
that
I
up to a few
idolise.
lines.
Yeah.
Athletes, celebrities, whoever it might be, he'll just text him just to see. You text him like your buddy. You've never met him in your life.
No.
And the follow on from that is that you've now decided that anyone who goes to St Kilda, the initiation of Welcome to the Club is getting a message from you. So I assume
correct.
this is where it's going?
It's to do with that.
Okay.
We drafted 5 players.
All defenders need heaps of defenders. That was
Yeah,
good.
well, it's stacked. I feel good about the people we picked up. Not one of them followed me back,
No.
but all of them opened my message and liked it.
Wow. That's
Isn't
more
that
disrespectful. That's more yeah. That's horrible.
So they all saw it, liked it, and left it.
Yeah. So you got Chevalier,
Yeah.
the
Flying Viking. Alex.
and then the 3 others after.
Yeah,
I
then the
assume.
3 others.
Yeah, right.
So that started me, like the rest of my week, I was treading water a bit. And then I decided I'd throw a real line out there.
Fuck, man.
So my sporting arm tattoo-wise is really building now.
I've seen Fat Doodles today.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I need to see him too, but for my arts and culture arm, it's feeling a bit bare. So I thought what I'd do is I commented on my favourite comedian's Instagram. His name's Noel Fielding. He's quite famous. And I said, Noel, I've got a very important question for you. Oh,
my God.
Can you follow me back so I can
Oh, my God. Ollie.
ask you this question?
Why would he? Why?
Well, he followed me back. And this is the embarrassing part, but my plan was to be like, hey, look, I do this podcast. I would love it if you pretended that you listened to it and said, hey, instead of getting your favourite sports teams tattooed, how about you get your favourite comedian, blah, 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 and then I'll pretend it's a surprise and I'll
it's a bit.
get this tattoo
It's
that
a
I
bit.
actually really want.
Yeah.
He saw it. But I've found the best power move. Not only did he not reply like the Saints boys did, he saw it and then just changed the theme of the chat.
Oh.
And then left.
Is
that not-
That's the best thing ever.
Is that
That
not-
is so. That's like a level above being disrespectful.
Yeah.
And, like liking the message, acknowledging it, changing the theme of the message is like a fuck you.
Because it's time. Like, that's time he could have spent replying, being like, oh, no, not for me, or yeah, I'll get round to it.
That's
He
great.
went, and I scrolled down the possible themes.
Yeah.
He did a few scrolls. He looked and he went, yeah, that one. I like that one.
And
then bounced. He's out of
That's
there.
great. I'm starting doing that to people. Yeah, that's my new thing.
Maybe just normalise doing that because I was on it.
Yeah.
And I was disrespected at the same time. It
That's
was
great.
huge.
That's awesome. All right, let's start doing that to each other.
Yeah.
To start changing the themes on Instagram when you don't want him to reply to it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So lots happening in your world.
Yeah, anyway.
I've got a little bit to report on just before we get into some sports stuff. We've got a lot before we get into sports stuff. We'll get there eventually, guys. Hang on there. Really. We got some bits to fill here. We got 2 episodes to go. Hang in there, guys. So I'm going to a new gym. The first time in my life I'm going to a gym.
What do you
Gym.
mean?
Straight out of school.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing weights in high school, but just went to an AFL footy club.
Sure.
That's not a gym, really. It's a footy club where
Yeah.
you do gym. Then back in the real world, I didn't go to the gym. I went to like the Body Fits or F45s, Rebels. So
sure.
that's not like a gym. So it's my first time since actually ever being in like a gym.
Just a beep. Scan
Public
in.
gym scare.
Yeah.
So I've gone to this new one in Port Melbourne and I've never been so scared in my life.
Well, because it's a public gym.
Feel like this is like a gangland, like bikey gym for mine.
Really?
Lots happening in there. Lots of pacing going on. like eyeing each other off. A lot of tattoos. So the first week I decided, you know what? I normally get to the gym at 5 a.m. when I was doing the other ones I just spoke about.
Sure.
Public gym, I'll get there at 5 a.m. It can't be that busy at 5 a.m., can it?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so.
Do an hour session, be done at 6, out of there. 5 a.m. get there, packed. Bikies. I think I almost joined the Hells Angels for a bit there. So I'm like, you know what?
Were they working out?
No, again, a lot of standing. It's more like a meeting. It's more a meeting business hub.
Sure.
With just weights around there. They'll do the occasional bench press and, but it does feel like shit can go down anytime. So that was the Monday. I'm like, 5 a.m. Okay, that doesn't work for me. Because the time I end my workout, it's packed. And the time I get there, it's packed. We'll go 4:30 next day. Wake up 4:30. Fuck me. Hell's Angels still there. All of them packed. Oh, okay. Too early. I can't get up at 4:30 and get here because it's so busy by the time I get there. I feel uncomfortable. I want my own space. I want to get in, get out, and I don't want to, feel like I'm in a fucking prison yard.
Sure.
Too early. Next day, 4 o'clock. Too busy.
What?
I'm now getting up at 3:30 to do my gym sessions because I don't want to be in the fucking prison yard with these guys. So that's how that's going. And this gym's crazy. It's like they've got a free throw that's in a secured like net area with, there's a full fence up around this, literally a basketball ring and a free throw line. So essentially you're doing jail practice.
Sure.
Like, 4x10 jail free throws. It's
That
a
sounds
lot
like the
happening in
most
my
horrible
world.
experience.
And just also another thing, people who are going to gyms, not 45s or whatever, like gyms, don't wear NBA jerseys. Not practical.
Yeah.
You're working out, so like not even comfortable. You look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing gym. I'm there doing my bench press at 4 a.m. and I turn around and got Steph Curry doing bicep curls. I'm like, you don't need to do that. There's another thing
That'll
there.
get you
It's
going,
distracting. So my world's been rocked.
Okay.
I'm going to the gym at fucking 3:30.
Have you tried going like midday?
Mate, I couldn't
a lunch-
imagine. If 5 a.m.'s like crazy.
Yeah, but that's pre-work.
Mate, they don't have, the ganglands don't have business hours,
Oh,
man.
true.
It's not like an office job. It's like, it's 5 o'clock, better not,
Yeah,
knock
right.
someone off. The business doesn't work like that. So
Okay.
that said, I'm just out there. I'm out there. Maybe I'm just a bit weird. I actually am kind of weird.
Well, you're weird for even saying that. Like, what? You hadn't actually said anything there that suggested that you were weird.
Getting up at 3:30 to go to the gym.
Well, yeah, but that's because you want to do it on your own. That's weird that wanting to do that.
Okay. Well, off the back of that, I put that on my weird list, which I want to introduce for maybe next year or maybe
Okay.
last episode. So things that I do that I think are weird, I've noted these down. You are very weird, so you might actually do some of these. We
Okay.
know about your showering and your pooing stuff and all that, and the smelling seats and all that.
What's the pooing stuff?
No. Okay. So here's a list of things that I think that I only do, but I want to see if anyone else is doing it.
Okay.
Whenever I think about a cringe time in my life, I'll start singing or humming to myself to cover
You
it up.
do that?
Yeah.
Like, you do a bit of, I didn't mean to do that. It was weird.
Yeah, so if I think about something like,
Yeah.
a conversation I had with a girl when I was 12 and it was really bad, I'd be like, in my head, thinking about it then, and that covers it up. You don't do that?
No, I don't think I do that. But
Okay.
I think that there's like scientifically probably a really clear reason as to why that happens. Like, you're just actually trying to drown out
Oh, yeah.
the noise.
Yeah. Next one. When I'm driving, I pretend I'm an F1 driver and there's commentators commentating on like how well I take the corners and how far ahead I am of the cars behind me.
No, I like that.
Okay. That's okay?
I really like that.
Okay, next one. Whenever I am going through it in the toilet, like a really intense number 2, the more intense it is, the more clothes that will cover my body.
I hate that. So you could potentially be going through it in the nude.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like a really intense number 2 and I'll be naked.
I hate that so much.
Why?
That just feels so...
Don't you just get
You're so
uncomfortable though?
vulnerable.
No, yeah, but sometimes you don't relate this at all, but sometimes you're so uncomfortable, like it starts off with like, okay, I need to take the top off. And then it's like, okay, that hasn't worked. I need to take my pants off now. And then you'd be naked on the toilet.
What are you eating?
Don't know, mate. That's what I do. This isn't a judgment space, mate.
That's true. This is an open space. Just quickly, it reminds me of how bad is it when you do a poo after you've had a shower. So like, like in the morning you might be like, no, I don't think I need to go yet.
Yeah.
Then you have a shower and then when you're in the shower, then you go, oh, actually, maybe I do.
Yeah.
That is like ruin the day.
Yeah.
Like I need to go back to sleep to
Yeah,
start
no.
and do it all again.
No, I can't do that. Next one. Sometimes I'll sit with my dog Madden for like 10 to 15 minutes and interrogate him about who he was in a past life. Like he always tends to be, I think, like a Chinese businessman.
Really?
And I'd be like, who are you in there? Like, where have you come from? You know how they say that, spirits go into dogs? Like dogs are, they had a life before they were a dog.
Oh, okay. Just like be a basic incarnation.
Yeah, I'll just interrogate him sometimes, like, whereabouts in China are you from?
What line of business do you reckon he's been involved in?
Salesman. It's always a salesman.
Really?
Yeah, always salesman. I haven't decided which kind of industry, but I'm thinking like car salesman over there.
Okay, and was he like a big city kind of guy? Or like, was he a...
I'm still trying to find that. He hasn't told me much, but I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I do imagine him being like a high roller kind of,
Oh, really?
in the central...
Shanghai. Yeah.
Big dog. So you don't do that, I assume?
I don't...
No?
No, it's
Not
different.
interrogate. Just sit him down with a treat and like just look in his eyes and have a conversation like, I know who you are.
Like, really? Like, you don't need to pretend anymore.
Yeah, like, it's just you and me in the house.
Yeah.
Where about? Do you have kids in China? Do you want me to go over? Like, that's the thing I'm doing.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. I think the only thing I do with my dog would be like almost pretend that I'm in the film Avatar. And so, in the Avatar where the hairs connect and that you're at one with the beast.
Yep.
So instead, I really like to put my forehead on their forehead.
Oh, okay, and feel it.
And you just sort of, I don't know, like weirdly tell her, yeah, I don't know, that's pretty weird, but...
And the last one, the big one that I now have been exposed on, I created a fake profile during my draft year on Big Footy to pump up my draft stocks, thinking that recruiters were going to read it and draft me higher. I can reveal that I was Henjo.
It's real. It was you. Oh, damn.
So a lot of people uncovered this. Don't know why I did it, but I did. I created a fake profile. I was called Henjo. I would have been, in my draft year, sort of been 17, 18. And for some reason, I thought, you know what? Let's create this fake profile on Big Footy. And I'll reply to the comments. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be recruiters on there or a conversation will get back to a recruiter on what this kid's doing.
Sure.
Let's read some of them here.
Would you like me to do it?
This is me, yeah. This is me leaving these comments.
Who's Henjo, by the way?
I don't know, mate.
What was the...
I don't know. I was young, mate. I don't know why. I don't know.
I have seen Gorringe play a few times this year, and what I find impressive is his ability to play like a midfielder. He's very good below the knees and has great hands and a kick also. In my opinion, a top 5 pick. And good luck to the kid. Have also heard that he's a really level-headed lad, that he's very focused on his football. This trait can only be a good thing. So you've thrown in personality traits that this random middle-aged person has been able to ascertain by just watching you play, that he's very level-headed and focused on football.
So psychotic. It's like a third person.
I watched Gorringe on the weekend and he did not have a great day out.
Honest.
But let's keep it real. I also saw this kid in the under-18 carnival in SA and Vic. And
I was playing.
And he was head and shoulders above players his own age. To me, this shows that when playing against equal opposition, he taps out, outmarks and outgoals his opponents. Being an avid or tragic Norwood fan, I have also seen him play in the reserves where he has torn it up, Dan. Where he has torn it up.
That's not good. That is so bad, man. What was I thinking?
I also can't imagine you saying the words avid.
I think I oversold it on not trying to be me. A bit too much for those words. Like, that's not a me word.
No.
That is so crazy. I saw this kid in under 18, like I was just there playing. I saw myself play. It just fits. Oh, God.
Where he tore it up.
Okay. Keep going. End it with, can I fin... Oh, my God. I can't do this. I end that with, can I finish by saying that if all... No, it makes sense. Can I finish by saying that if all some people can do is get on here and criticize and be negative with no constructive, spelled it wrong, constructive comments, why bother? Too many keyboard warriors. Pretty gutless work. Oh, my God.
You have had so many cruises by that point.
Yeah. Then I must have gone to draft camp and then people were asking where I was. So I just got on there and said, he's been training with Nord this week. Left to go to draft camp today. Can also confirm that his height is 200 centimeters.
Can confirm he left today. Who would know that? Who would know? Yeah, can confirm he left this morning at 8:25.
Yeah,
he actually had a really good night's sleep, so he's feeling pretty fresh.
I think he also had Weet-Bix for breakfast. Can confirm. That is crazy. So look, if we're going to get out in here and do our thing and take the piss out of everyone else, we've got to take the piss out of ourselves.
That's true.
So There you are, everyone. Fucking launch on me on that.
Oh, yeah, and rightly so. Someone did find my footy version of
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Your stats?
My stats?
Yeah, it was-
I didn't know. It's really scary how much is recorded. Like,
Yeah.
you can't get away with anything anymore.
I fucking know.
Yeah. 2 goals.
Yep.
No, 3 goals. 3 goals. Best ever was a 2-goal performance. And then I played in 2 positions over my 3-game career. First position was full pocket,
Yep.
and then second position was interchange.
Great. Yeah, that's, I mean, plenty of strengths, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I've had a mare there. I think we normalise making own like your fake profiles, pump
I
yourself
agree.
up. I reckon. I'm gonna make some wee burners today.
You're gonna
Just
see
pump
a
all the
lot of
content up.
Henjo on
a lot of
Dando's footy.
Henjo. Bring back Henjo. Someone's gonna make a Henjo profile now.
Well, is there a chance it was, if you have to really throw your mind back, was there sort of like a Henjo and Woodja? Like, is that kind of...
I don't know what Henjo is. I don't know.
It's not a suburb in Adelaide,
Nah.
like...
No idea.
Henge.
I think I just went for the most like distancing name that I could for myself to kind of, cover the tracks. That is so fucking weird. That even I feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you should. I reckon you probably should.
Don't, and no one start calling me Henjo. Like you got little Dan. the
Little
Henjo would
Henjo.
suck. No, that would suck. I was going to sport. I think I like cricket. I think I've done
massive.
a 180. I think I've done a one where I'm like, you know what? Cricket is great just to have in the background. I'm still not big on watching it for 3 sessions straight, which you've told me. I think no one really does that. It's just there in the background.
you're mega fans, but
Murderers.
I think it's pretty
Yeah,
normal to
yeah.
dip in and out.
Well, I found now it's done. I found having it on over the weekend, like, I guess cool. Yeah, I guess it was okay. I think maybe I might like it, but I've quickly learned that we stink.
Yeah, it's
We
been a
are so sucky at cricket. What was that?
rough couple of days.
India came over here and just beat the shit out of us. Off the back of losing to New Zealand and then to do that to us. We didn't even fire a shot. What are we doing? We got Marcus Labuschagne out there doing what? Medium pace for 5 overs, then decide, you know what? I can't be bothered running anymore. Leg spin. Is that even legal to do?
I think it is.
You can't be doing that. Then Pat comes saying, oh, look, rough test. I'm not sure we'll make any changes. Mate, you got to make some changes.
Yeah, think about
I
it.
feel like we've had the same guys. And again, I don't watch cricket, but I feel like I've seen the same guys on TV or in passing for like the last 10 years on that team.
Maybe not that long, but certainly since the first sort of test after the sandpaper gate, they kind of felt pretty comfortable in their team.
Yeah.
And then obviously we then had to welcome back Warner and Smith, and Warner's out now and Smith is really struggling. So, yeah, there's definitely a changing of the guard happening.
We're all
Like,
struggling. Even Pat Cummins is struggling. Like that tactic to put himself in as a night watchman. Now, I haven't watched a lot of cricket, but I feel like just from seeing it in play, the night watchman go to work with 20 overs to go, I feel like in the history and across all sports, that might be the worst tactic ever to use a night's watchman.
What don't you like about it?
So we got the Indian bowlers absolutely steaming in, just hitting perfect line and length on us. And we go, you know what? Instead of putting our best 2, let's put in our 7th best.
Yeah, but you don't. They're coming in with a new ball, steaming in, nice and fresh, and they're just delivering just the peak of their bowling, essentially. We don't want that against our best players.
But if our best players are that good, maybe they should be able to weather the storm.
yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
I think everyone's got a bit, maybe I've got fresh eyes on this sport. I've come in and even I'm going, hey, I think that tactic is just a horrible tactic.
okay,
We've got to scrap that.
okay.
No more of that.
Maybe I'll start a list then. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you're getting into it, we start a list of what you could change.
Well, I just want the nice watchman out. And I think the coach is, obviously we all know is Andrew McDonald. Start swinging the axe. I want to see some heads roll for the next test.
Okay.
Let's get some fresh blood in there, okay? Okay. Another elephant I want to address in the room right now is just the Carlton situation and then not following me on Instagram.
Was that
Yeah.
brought to light after your post yesterday, or was this?
well,
or
yeah.
you're wanting to go out of your way to bring it to light?
I think I find it a bit weird. I'm struggling that, we get around all the teams get around us. I find it weird that Carlton don't acknowledge that I exist a little bit, I guess, kind of thing. Like I'm a passionate guy. I get that. Yeah, I ride the bumps with them. Have I been a bit harsh here or there? Maybe. Am I harsh here or there with the other teams? Sure. Give and take as good as you get. Spread the love equally of love and hate. So I've bled for this club.
Yep.
I've torn Achilles for this club. for them not even to acknowledge me with a follow, and I'm the 1,175th player to represent the club in 160 years. So I'm in the walls.
Yeah.
This is a list of people they're following over me.
Oh.
Matt Owies,
Well.
Paddy Dow, Tina Arena.
Do you believe?
Do you believe in love? Marvel Stadium.
Oh, and they hate it there too.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe I've done something, and if I have, I'm sorry, but I'm also thinking maybe they just don't like having fun. Like they're one of those social teams, the football club, that don't like having fun. We know that fun teams are just quickly, I'll miss someone out here. You got your Hawks, your Giants, your Brizzy, your Doggies, your Essendon are pretty fun. Saints are funnish. Port are fun. Then there's some other teams that just don't maybe want to have fun. Melbourne.
They definitely don't want to have
definitely
more,
don't have fun on socials.
Collingwood don't really have fun.
Collingwood don't. Yeah, they're probably in the middle. Nah. Carlton don't feel like they want to have fun really, the socials.
No.
So
Richmond don't really. I don't think I remember last time I saw Richmond.
So maybe it's something that I've done. I just want to get that out there as well. Now that I'm confessing end of the season, get everything on my chest. Hand Joe, now this. I'm just putting it out there, okay? Carlton.
It is disappointing. So what ones aren't, and okay, let's just say, let's ignore your personal page.
Yep.
We're just talking about Dan Does Footy. Off the top of my head, Carlton, Collingwood,
Melbourne.
Geelong, Melbourne don't follow.
No.
I want to say, do the Crows?
No, probably not. I'm not sure. I mean, went hard on Crowbots. So make it. I'm just putting it out there. Just to,
There's something to think
as we
about.
go on the off season, this is something to work on.
Yeah.
We'll come back for next season. So that's all. Big week for Tassie last week. Locked in a training base.
Yeah, so they have. And it was a little bit of an awkward one, Dan, because Rosny was picked as the preferred area.
Yeah.
And what I can tell you about Rosny is it is pretty much just as you get off the bridge on the eastern shore. It is beautiful. So that's Rosny is where Ninja Stadium is.
Yeah, Ninja.
So like you can imagine the view there with the mountain and the city on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Like incredible. And then Belle Reeve itself, a little bit more cash.
Yep.
So you'd imagine, players probably would live around there. It's right on the beach, right on the water. And then they did their due diligence. And I think what happened was essentially the turf itself was going to cost a lot more to excavate.
Yep.
So they chose Kingborough Twin Ovals. Now, the way I would describe this is if you were to bring in a random team now into Melbourne and the training base had to be in inner city Melbourne.
Yeah.
And you've either got South Melbourne, so right on the beach there.
Yeah.
You'd imagine the players would like the
Beautiful spot.
beautiful area. Or, Ferntree Gully.
Yeah.
And then you've picked Ferntree Gully.
Oh, wow. I've done that.
It's kind of like that. But what I would say is Hobart is obviously a lot smaller. So it only takes 20 minutes on the highway.
Yeah.
So you're not really
No.
like
But
losing
still.
out there. And the really good thing is the high performance center is going to be next to the Jack Jumpers. So, a couple of years ago, Hobart Tassie didn't have any teams. And then now we're going to have our major
Precinct.
teams kind of like around each other. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. There's also a golf club behind it, which they'll really like. And yeah, so it's cool.
Yeah, making some
So
moves. Apparently every name of their foundation members is going to be inside the building.
I'll be there.
We'll go search for ours. I'll be there too.
And let's not give too much away, but I had a meeting with someone this week.
Yeah, tell us about this. It's exciting.
And I actually have a present for you, Dan.
Oh, whoa. Oh, here we go. What is this?
Close your eyes.
Oh, hey! That's cool. Jet, that's my my high school existence.
There you go.
Wrapped into one. Thank you. Who's this from?
20 years it's been since Get Born came out. That's a freshly pressed edition of it.
Thank you.
To which Mark, the bass player, of course, the lucky man who gets to play the riff,
Yeah.
gave to both of us. He did say,
Oh.
look, there's every chance in the world Dan doesn't have a record player.
No, I don't, but I need to get one now.
So there you go.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark, as well.
So I was chatting to him, and because he was really keen. He's a massive Cats fan. He was super keen to come on around that grand final period to talk about their infamous grand final performance.
yeah.
or maybe perform at a grand final party, but they were on tour.
Yep.
Not a worry. Now, without giving much away, he was like, I still really want to do something with you guys.
Yes.
And I went, I can totally understand. There's only one sports podcast you would want to do something with.
Duh.
It's only natural.
Duh.
We've come up with a bit of an idea.
do you
And
got?
I don't want anyone to copy it,
What do you got?
but it's Dan Does Footy and Jet
Oh, my God.
doing something for a football club.
A DDF times Jet collab. For a club.
How would you feel about that?
I mean, there'd be discussions about who the lead singer would be.
Sure.
And I guess an audition process, because I think, I want to think, because you got me look so fine. I really want to give you mine. I wouldn't go just singing qualities, like who's bringing the best vibe for the group.
Stage presence.
So, but I am all in on that. If we can collab with, are you kidding?
They're
Collabing
right
with
up,
Jet
They're right up for it.
for an AFL club.
When I say that we just need to have a break and come back bigger and better,
Yeah, okay.
I'm out here doing shit like that, mate.
Yeah.
I'm having beers in Fitzroy
So you are
with
working.
Mark Wilson from Jet,
Yeah.
being like, things are happening here.
So you're working.
I'm working.
Okay, at least one of us is working.
So
Okay,
watch
so
this space.
we
because
might
of-
be teaming up with Jet to do something for an AFL club.
That's all I'm saying.
That is massive. Hopefully, do a pre-season with Jet. At
or just
Carlton.
heaps of beers, heaps of
All
jamming
right,
sessions.
what's your space on that?
Yeah.
It was last week, which feels like an entire, a long time ago. But the draft was last week.
Yes.
Everyone cleaned up. Richmond was their draft. They dominated.
Yep.
Pick 1, Sam Lawler, Josh Smiley's an absolute monster. When pick 7, they just took, it seemed like every second pick was Richmond.
Yep.
So they're set up if all things go right for the next decade, 15
Totally.
years. I just want to know a couple of points from my end. Why were they playing music after every pick and like the worst music? Like top 40 Australia hits.
Really, I wasn't watching. So
Yeah,
you were watching the Fox.
Yeah.
I was watching the AFL.com
Oh,
stream,
Lorcon,
so
yeah.
we didn't get that.
On the Fox, it was like a lot of just, top 40 hits after people walking up.
It's like it
As
was
up there.
as if someone won an aria.
Yep, pretty much. That was
Yeah,
one of my
that's
main things I
weird.
took up.
Okay.
So that was it. You guys, let's talk about briefly some dot points here, what every club did. The Saints accidentally drafted a professor whose name was Garen.
Yeah.
That was very funny. Who they meant to text.
Oh, it could have been any of them, really.
They went to go text a player they picked up and they sent a rogue message out to a random number because it was been the first message they've ever sent. And they pinged back to him saying, I don't actually go for St Kilda. I'm actually a Collingwood fan. My name's Garen. I'm a professor. Very quick to tell everyone he was a professor. Probably unnecessary information. Like you could have said, hey, I'm Garen, wrong number.
Yeah.
But went on with saying, no, but just before I go, I'm a professor.
It had real sort of, I'm a dentist, but I'm also a doctor. Like, call me doctor. Like,
So that was them. Leo Lombard from the Suns got up pick 9, I think, just dropped an absolute fuck bomb on everyone on live television.
fuck yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
I'm all about him. We know his dad's a crazy UFC fighter. He has a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I think.
Yeah, right.
As well, Leo. And then just got up there and said, fuck yeah.
But you know what, Dan? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
I'd be fucking if
Yeah.
I was drafted.
I think so.
Like, it's
I think that
awesome.
was one thing I liked about, obviously Leo dropping a fuck bomb on there. I liked that the interviews were so rogue and almost a bit like watching a car crash happen.
Yeah.
But you couldn't look away because something might happen. Like they're just, I don't know if they're media trained.
No, not yet.
Entertaining though, wasn't it? To see them be up there and just be like, yeah, it's lit.
Yeah. The new wave of generation.
Coming through. Yeah,
being
it's
like,
real. Yeah, can't wait. Lit.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
it
really
was
lit.
very funny. Very funny. Leo did that. Richmond weirdly traded away their future first for next year's draft for pick 27 and a future second at the end of the first round, which raised a few eyebrows. What are the Shinboners doing there? With their pick 1 next year could be pick 1.
Right.
And they got rid of that to enter pick 27. So they must have really liked someone at pick 27 to
Yeah.
then give, North that pick.
Yeah, bizarre.
Bizarre.
I don't like when
Who knows?
Make more
you were
sense
confused
when
with that. Yeah. The Blues passed on my guy, Sid
Yep.
Draper, which is fine. I'm over it now. It's been a week.
Yep.
Well, a little bit angry at the time, for
Sure.
sure. And that had nothing to do with Jagger Smith. I'm sure Jagger's going to be a great player, and hopefully he is because he's part of the family now, and hopefully he gets a follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's definitely got a follow. But just felt like a little bit like I've seen a lot of Jagger Smiths come to the club. I've seen a Jack Carroll.
Sure.
I've seen a Paddy Dow. I hadn't seen a Sid Draper. So I was a little bit like, hey, we had a Sid there at the table.
You're emotional. It's fine.
Let's just put Jagger on that steak and dumbbell diet for 3 years.
Yeah.
They're skinny kids in the draft, aren't they?
Well, you forget that they're children.
You actually do forget the children.
Right.
Yeah. You generally do. They're just kids coming out of high school who probably haven't even lifted a weight yet.
No.
So they got him. The Blues also picked up Harry O'Farrell. Now, this name rings a bell because Harry is the son of Peter, who famously got Paddy Cripps off in 2022 for his suspension, and then Paddy went on to win a Brownlow. So a little bit of like a, hey, thanks for everything you've done. Let's give Harry 2 years minimum.
Yeah.
Maybe maximum.
Maybe.
Depends how we look at it. Yeah.
Starts with an M for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So that was interesting as well. And every club, I love this story.
Yeah.
I love this story that he's still got on the list. Every club passed on him originally. Don Brew. The Dogs have asked him to come and train with them.
Good on him.
Something from yesterday.
Yep.
So hopefully he's a dog. JJ Liston
Literally.
winner, average 28 touches, ready-made dog, makes sense. The Dogs take him.
Yep.
Dog for dog, like for like. So let's hope he gets a shot.
And the last thing there is, of course, pick 10. The show's pick went to the Saints, the Flying Viking, Alex Tauru. So, again, along with all the things that we need to consider about next year, I know the people at St Kilda listen.
Yeah.
So they need to be aware that we're making this happen. We're sponsoring this kid.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Pick 10 every year
For sure.
is DDF's pick.
So we reach out and do that.
Yep.
Then the next day or 2 days after, the Suns pulled an absolute fuck you to Freo in the rookie draft. And just it felt like a rebrand, new attitude, kind of, we don't really need this, but we need to let everyone know that this is a new era for us. This is our bad boy era. Freo delisted Max Noble. Said to him, like a lot of clubs did, we'll pick you back up in the rookie draft. So they had pick 7. I think the Suns had pick 4. Pick 4 comes around. The Suns go, we're just going to take this kid, Max Noble.
Yeah.
Take him. They already have 3 ruckmen on the list. Don't need him, but just like a little, we can do this. You know why we can do this? Fuck yeah. That's why. Have you seen the new logo?
Yeah, they've got this new logo and the attitude's completely changed.
Real big attitude. So I rate that.
Yeah.
I rate that. Walk him to the draft and see what happens to the Suns.
Yeah.
Good on him. Good on him. As we said, though, before the top of the show, every team's back at preseason. A lot of 2K time trials happening. A lot of skin folds happening. Just a heap of loose skin being pulled and measured. Like a lot of that happening right now. We saw a string of package in his new threads.
Thoughts?
I mean, yeah, he looks like he could be in that contract form already.
Yep.
From the stuff we know. I mean, it did look like he lost his shoulders in the offseason a bit.
Yeah.
In the singlet. But hopefully he goes well.
I also liked, he looked like he was turning up to a farmer's market when he turned up at the training centre.
Yeah.
And a little coffee and a Hessian bag.
Yeah, had the Rangy as well.
That's
Must be very good.
yeah,
Had the
well,
big Rangy. Yeah, I think it was a new one. A new one.
You're not driving that up from Windy Hill?
No, I think the photos made him look like he had no shoulders.
Sure.
No,
Okay.
haven't seen it. Just no shoulders, just neck and down.
Really?
So go check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird, but some people were saying in the comments about the no shoulders thing that he might have left them at Essendon. So they were laughing at that.
That's
It's
good.
a classic gag. Classic gag. Nick Dacos is running around with a clean buzz cut too. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, scary.
That's a business cut. It's over for the league. That's he looks really good with it.
Yeah.
Good looking rooster. But the biggest thing that caught my eye yesterday from all clubs being back for preseason is what Adelaide have done.
Okay, talk to me.
Jumper number allocation. Gave out the new numbers. Nick Murray, defender, fullback, number 9.
Rory.
Yeah. He's the number 9. I like Nick Murray, but you just got Sid Draper. Oh, yeah, imagine a number 9 bursting out of a stoppage in Adelaide being like, oh, that's our pick 4. That's our Sid Draper. That looks good on the back. That's 9. Instead, Sid Draper's got 34 on his back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
That's going to slow him down. That's a heavy number.
Yeah.
Heavy number. James Peatling from the Giants, who's now the Crows, 25. Alex Neil-Bullen's 28. Don't mind those two. And then, Isaac Cumming, heavy back, 44.
Oh, the
That
people's
is
number.
Heavy though. Yeah.
Favourite number?
For Cheese, he was 13 at the Giants.
Yeah.
Blown right out to 44. Nathan Block makes sense, but
Yeah.
What else did we find out during the week that we were away? I show speeds here in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, whose fault is it for not reaching out? Because surely there was something to be done there.
We could have done something there with him. We could have. But he just went everywhere. The Giants
Yep.
doing preseason stuff. He absolutely destroyed Toby Bedford in tackle. That would have been 3 weeks before, but that's his first tackle in AFL ever. And he looked really good.
Right. Who signed off on that?
Yeah, I know. He goes so hard in everything he does.
Yeah.
He was over fighting Dan Hooker in the UFC in New Zealand.
But that's the other thing. It's not his responsibility. He wouldn't care. So, of course he's going to be a
He's gonna
lunatic
hard-
and, just going to tackle anything that moves.
So he's done that, almost put Bedford in the HIA protocol.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, so I want people to race me. Looked at Callum Brown who's quick, the Irishman,
Yeah.
and said, "Do you want to race me for $10,000?" Now, Callum Brown, he probably has $10,000, but does he have $10,000 because
Yeah.
only played 40 games?
Sure.
And if living in Sydney is expensive, just putting up 10K then losing.
It's a real afterpay job to iShow Speed.
Yeah. So
Four
Speed won the
installments.
10K.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I think double nothing against Darcy Jones.
Okay. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so he's everywhere. Then went to New Zealand for the Warriors and just laid some Warriors guy out.
Yeah.
I think it was a training staff guy, but
Still, he did it. And then he's at Auckland, like in that, like he's at the A-League side.
yeah,
That guy has some
he's doing a bit.
shirts.
He's doing a
because
bit. Yeah, he would.
everyone's giving him something.
Oh yeah, a lot of merch. We have some merch, but he'd have way more. And then finally to round off the program today, AFLW grand final this weekend.
Yep.
Big North v Lions at Icon, running it back from last year again. The rematch, revenge for North here, 7:45 p.m.
Yes.
Night game.
I like that it's a Saturday though, because I was in my head assuming that it was a Sunday.
So did I.
So that is good.
Okay.
Like it's better.
Yeah, it is. We know how the Jade and Poppy felt about night game.
Well, exactly.
No time to go out to Electric after. Celebrate.
Well, but a Saturday night you will.
Sunday, yeah, true. Also, you just go Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. But North being the best team all year, clearly.
Yeah.
Could they do the unthinkable and just lose their first game of the season in a grand final?
I think they could. I mean, there's every chance they could.
It's going to be a good grand final.
Yeah.
Be really, really good.
It's the one that we probably deserved. I think looking at it, like clearly that game against Port Adelaide, like they were shot. Like they didn't have anything left in them after the Hawthorn game. And then the Brisbane Adelaide game was always going to be the game of the weekend. It was. Either team would give North a run in this grand final, which is good. Like
North,
I
yeah.
looked at it and thought, okay, it's just going to be North, but who's going to have a chance here? And at least both Brisbane and the Crows would take them as far as possible.
Yeah.
So I think probably it makes sense. The best two teams are in it. It's going to be a blinder.
It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be really good. Big crowd down there as well at Icon. So
Is it
really big.
Icon? I thought it might have been at North.
Nah, it's Icon. At Icon.
Okay.
Yep. So I might get down there actually. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
We'll see how we go. Then the awards last night, Ebony Marinoff she's the best women's footballer in the world right now.
Yep.
Just a star. Wins her first AFLW Best and Fairest medal. 7-time All-Australian. She's been All-Australian every year that the league's existed.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty good
wild.
ratchet.
Stud. Just a stud.
We surely are not far off it being called something, like not just the best.
Yeah,
of
they need
first.
to find a name for it. Something, yeah.
I still think the Daisy is like perfect.
Yeah, it is, yeah. You just take that higher.
But don't you reckon? It's
I
great.
like
It's named after probably the most iconic,
I like it.
I don't know, the
like
Daisy
it.
medal.
I like it.
Just thinking.
I like it a lot, my friend. All right, big weekend in the AFLW this weekend, grand final time.
Huge.
Big revenge match for North up against the Lions again. Running it back. So let's get everyone a nice big feed on Sportsbet's feed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get on one here together. So you and I put one together on my feed.
Yes.
Which you can go find on the Sportsbet app. So we're going Brisbane. They're our team.
It's big. It's bold. I mean, North haven't lost a game this year, but Brisbane are coming at exactly the right time.
North are due.
Exactly. And it's just unfortunate.
It's going to be the wrong
game.
time.
Yeah.
And the Brisbane's our team.
Exactly
As
right.
well. We got on from the start, shaky start, but we're on them. Then we're going Dakota Davidson,
Yep.
anytime goal scorer.
Yep, I like it. She's always been pretty good for one. You got to remember as well, these are two of the more high-scoring teams in the AFLW. It's not going to be a kind of 2-3 goal situation. This will be fairly high-scoring, so I really like that.
Be running goals. And then, friend of the show, Jade Ellinger. 15 or more disposals, also
Yep.
on the feed.
Yep, really
It's
like
obvious
it.
choice.
Yep.
Up and down the wing.
We're all
in the
in on
midfield
Brisbane,
day.
though. Like,
So-
that's,
oh, yeah, big time. That's the show. It's our show. It's,
Yeah.
our team. So we're all in on them.
Yep.
So that's the feed. It's on the feed right now. That's the bet for the feed. I was looking for a market for Poppy. There was no culture markets.
Sure.
So if there was, she'd be, short odds to win the culture. But
Yeah.
nothing there for Poppy. So thinking of her.
And that's okay.
That's okay. So go and follow that on Sportsbet's feed. You're on it. I'm on it. It's all there. That brings us to the end of our second last episode for the season. One more to go, my friend.
One more to go.
One more. So next episode, Thursday, obviously, let's do a full hotline. The best, do this play on? Is the, Jamaican bobsledder or
Sure.
a Harry Potter character, whatever you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Those
We
ones
could
for
do-
everyone.
we could totally
Yep,
do
So we'll
that.
put some stuff in our stories to get some stuff rolling in. Go
Yeah.
from there, okay?
One more.
Yeah,
All right.
one more. We'll love you. We'll leave you. We'll see you on Thursday, my friend. German.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.